My name is Rowan Hayes, and up until that fateful night in October, I was just another guy trying to scrape by in Burlington, Vermont. 25 years old, working as a barista at a cozy coffee shop downtown, dreaming of something more but too scared to chase it. I was an omega in a world where alphas ruled the boardrooms and betas filled the gaps. But I'd learned to keep my head down. Suppressants helped mask my scent, letting me blend in without drawing unwanted attention. That autumn festival was supposed to be a break, a chance to lose myself in caramel apples, hayrides, and the crisp chill of New England fall. Little did I know, it would mark the beginning of everything unraveling. The festival grounds were alive with laughter, strings of orange lights draping over pumpkin patches and craft booths. Families milled about, kids clutching cotton candy, while couples stole kisses under the canopy of turning leaves. I wandered alone, nursing a hot cider, when I first spotted him. Tall, broad-shouldered, with a jaw that could cut glass and eyes like stormy seas, gray and intense. He was dressed in a tailored wool coat that screamed big city money, out of place among the flannel shirts and jeans. Ethan Blackwood, I later learned, was a powerhouse alpha from New York City, CEO of Blackwood Enterprises, a tech firm revolutionizing AI security. But in that moment, he was just a magnetic force pulling me in. Our eyes met across the crowd, and something primal stirred. My suppressants must have been wearing off because his scent hit me like a freight train. Rich cedarwood mixed with leather and a hint of smoke. It made my pulse race, my skin flush. He approached with the confidence of a man who always got what he wanted. His voice a deep rumble that sent shivers down my spine. "You look like you could use some company," he said, flashing a smile that was equal parts charming and predatory. We talked for hours, or what felt like it. He shared stories of high-stakes deals in Manhattan skyscrapers, while I confessed my quiet dreams of opening my own bookstore cafe. There was an ease between us, a spark that ignited faster than the bonfire crackling nearby. When he suggested a ride on the Ferris wheel, I didn't hesitate. Up there, suspended above the twinkling lights, the conversation turned intimate. He leaned in, his hand brushing mine, and whispered, "You're different, Rowan. I can sense it. The fire beneath that calm exterior." That's when it happened. The wheel stopped, stranding us at the peak. His eyes darkened, pupils dilating with alpha instinct. Before I could react, he pulled me close, his lips grazing my ear. "I can't let you go," he murmured, and then his teeth pierced my skin. The marking bite, an ancient Alpha-Omega bond, rare in modern times but unbreakable once sealed. Pleasure and agony intertwined, flooding my veins with his essence. I gasped, clutching his coat, as the world blurred. When the wheel descended, he helped me down, his arm around my waist like I was already his. "What the hell was that?" I demanded, my voice shaky, hand pressing the fresh mark that throbbed with heat. "You're mine now," he said simply, as if it were fact, "and I'll protect you with everything I have." I should have run, but something in his gaze, vulnerable beneath the alpha bravado, held me there. We spent the rest of the night walking the festival, his presence a shield against the chill. He bought me a scarf from a local vendor, wrapping it around my neck to hide the mark, his fingers lingering. By dawn, as the crowds thinned, he drove me home in his sleek black SUV, promising to explain everything soon. The next day, reality crashed in. Waking up, I felt the bond pulsing, a constant awareness of him, like an invisible thread tying us together. Panic set in. I'd heard stories of forced markings, how they could warp an Omega's will, but this felt different, deeper. I called in sick to work and paced my tiny apartment, overlooking Lake Champlain. Who was this guy? A quick Google search revealed Ethan Blackwood, 32, self-made billionaire, known for ruthless business tactics but also quiet philanthropy. No mention of Omega bonds or festival impulsiveness. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Meet me at the waterfront park. We need to talk." I went, curiosity overriding fear. He was waiting on a bench, looking out at the water, his usual poise cracked by worry lines. "Rowan, I didn't plan this," he admitted, running a hand through his dark hair. "But when I scented you, pure, unfiltered Omega essence, it triggered something primal. I've been alone too long building walls. You broke through them. We talked for hours." He explained the bond. how it amplified emotions, created a protective instinct in alphas. "I'll guard you like my life depends on it," he vowed, his voice thick with emotion. "Because in a way, it does. If anything happened to you now, it'd destroy me." Skeptical but drawn in, I let him into my life. Dates followed, dinners at hidden gems in Burlington, drives through fiery foliage. Ethan commuted from NYC, his private jet making the distance negligible. He was attentive, passionate, his touches igniting fires I'd never known. In bed, he was dominant yet tender, whispering praises as he claimed me fully. The mark on my neck healed into a faint scar, a constant reminder of our connection. But shadows loomed. Ethan's world wasn't safe. Rivals in the tech industry, jealous of his success, whispered threats. One night, as we walked back from a movie, a car sped by too close, nearly clipping us. Ethan shoved me aside, his body shielding mine. "That wasn't an accident," he growled, eyes scanning the dark. Paranoia set in. He hired bodyguards, insisted on security at my apartment. "You're my weakness now," he confessed, holding me tight. "And they'll exploit it." I tried to pull away, fearing I'd lose myself in his shadow. "I'm not some fragile omega needing rescue," I argued. But the bond pulled us back, emotions raw and intense. As weeks turned to months, winter snow blanketed Vermont. Our love deepened, but so did the dangers. Ethan's ex-business partner, Marcus, a bitter beta with a grudge, resurfaced, leaking scandals to the press. Whispers of corporate espionage. And then the betrayal hit. It started with an anonymous email to my work inbox. Grainy photos of Ethan with another man, time-stamped just days after our marking. The caption read, "He's not who you think." My heart plummeted. I confronted him that evening in his rented lakeside cabin, flames crackling in the fireplace as snow fell outside. "Is this true?" I thrust my phone at him, voice breaking. Ethan's face paled. "Rowan, it's not what it looks like. That was before." "Before what?" "Before you marked me on a whim." Tears stung my eyes. The bond amplified the hurt, making it feel like my soul was tearing. He reached for me, but I stepped back. "Marcus sent that. He's trying to drive us apart. The man in the photo is an old contact, nothing more." Doubt festered. I stormed out into the blizzard, driving aimlessly until my car skidded on ice, slamming into a snowbank. Panic surged, the bond alerting Ethan. Within minutes, his SUV appeared, lights piercing the whiteout. He pulled me from the wreck, cradling me. "Don't ever scare me like that," he whispered, lips brushing my forehead. Back at the cabin, we talked through the night. He confessed his past. A string of meaningless flings to mask his loneliness, but nothing since me. "You're my mate, Rowan. The only one." Forgiveness came slowly, built on shared vulnerabilities. Ethan opened up about his childhood, abandoned by his alpha father, raised in foster care, clawing his way to success. "I built an empire to prove I didn't need anyone," he said, voice raw. "But I need you." Our reconciliation was passionate, bodies entwining by the fire, reaffirming the bond. For a while, peace reigned. We spent Christmas in NYC, his penthouse overlooking Central Park aglow with lights. He introduced me to his world, galas, board meetings, where I felt out of place but empowered by his side. "You're my equal," he insisted, gifting me a key to his empire, shares in Blackwood Enterprises. Yet Marcus's shadow grew. Leaks escalated to hacks, compromising company data. Ethan worked tirelessly, his protectiveness bordering on obsession. "Stay close," he'd say, assigning guards even for my coffee runs. Tension peaked at a New Year's Eve party in Manhattan. Glittering elites filled the ballroom, champagne flowing. Ethan was pulled into a heated discussion with investors, leaving me alone. That's when Marcus approached, slick smile hiding venom. "Enjoying the fairy tale Omega?" he sneered. "Ethan's using you. A marked mate makes him look stable, good for business." His words struck deep. "You're lying." "Am I?" Ask him about the merger deal. He needed a family man image to seal it. Doubt reignited. I confronted Ethan later in our suite. "Is this all a PR stunt? The marking, the protection, just to close a deal?" His eyes flashed with hurt. "How can you think that?" After everything. But the seed was planted. In a fit of rage, I fled back to Vermont, ignoring his calls. The bond screamed in protest, physical pain mirroring emotional turmoil. Alone in my apartment, I questioned everything. Was our love real, or manipulated by alpha instincts? Days blurred. Ethan showed up at my door, disheveled, eyes red-rimmed. Please, Rowan. Marcus is manipulating you. The merger was important, but you're my world. We argued, voices echoing. You marked me without asking. Took my choice. I was scared you'd slip away, he admitted, dropping to his knees. I've never felt this before. Terror of losing someone. Tears flowed as we collapsed into each other's arms. Forgiveness this time was tentative, laced with promises of transparency. Ethan fired Marcus, but the damage lingered. Whispers in the press painted me as a gold digger, Ethan as unstable. Spring brought renewal. We retreated to a cabin in the Adirondacks, away from chaos. Long hikes, quiet evenings, rebuilding trust. Ethan's touches were gentler, his words more open. I love you, Rowan. Not because of the bond, but despite it. You're strong, kind. The heart I never had. Our intimacy deepened, exploring each other's souls. But danger escalated. One night, intruders broke into the cabin. Marcus's hired thugs, seeking revenge. Ethan fought them off, his alpha strength ferocious, but not before I was grazed by a bullet. Blood soaked my shirt as he carried me to safety, sirens wailing. In the hospital, he never left my side. I almost lost you, he sobbed, head bowed. This is my fault. Guilt consumed him. As I recovered, he distanced himself, thinking it'd protect me. Maybe we should end this, he said, voice breaking, before you get hurt again. No, I refused, pulling him close. We're in this together. The conflict climaxed when Marcus confronted us in Burlington. A public showdown at the waterfront. Accusations flying. You ruined me, Blackwood, Marcus yelled, pulling a gun. Time slowed. Ethan stepped in front, shielding me. It's over, Marcus. Put it down. In the chaos, police arrived, tipped off by Ethan's guards. Marcus was arrested, his empire crumbling. But the toll was heavy. Ethan was wounded, a shot to the shoulder. As he recovered, our bond solidified. No more secrets. We emerged stronger, the betrayal forging unbreakable steel. Summer sun warmed Lake Champlain as we rebuilt. Ethan scaled back his business, delegating to trusted betas, prioritizing us. We bought a house in Burlington. A cozy Victorian with a wraparound porch, overlooking the water. Mornings were lazy, coffee in bed, his arms around me. This is home, he'd murmur, nuzzling my mark. But scars remained. Nightmares plagued me, guns, blood, betrayal. Ethan held me through them, whispering reassurances. Therapy helped, unpacking the trauma. You're not just an omega to protect, my counselor said. You're a partner. Ethan echoed that, empowering me. With his support, I opened my dream bookstore cafe, Autumn Leaves Books. He funded it discreetly, but the success was mine, locals flocking for readings and lattes. Pride swelled in his eyes at the grand opening. Look what you've built, he said, kissing me amid applause. Our love evolved, less frantic, more profound. Picnics in the park, road trips to Boston, where he'd show me his old haunts. In quiet moments, we'd discuss the future. Adoption, perhaps, blending our worlds. Yet, a new conflict arose. Ethan's board pressured him to return full-time, citing instability without his iron fist. We need the alpha leader, they argued in video calls. He resisted, but doubt crept in. What if I'm failing them? He'd ask, pacing. I supported him, but feared losing our peace. You're more than your empire, I reminded. We're your legacy too. The turning point came at a company retreat in the Hamptons. I joined, mingling with executives. Whispers followed about my influence, the omega distraction. One night, over dinner, a rival alpha challenged Ethan. Marked mates are liabilities. Cut him loose. Fury ignited. Ethan stood, voice thunderous. Rowan is my strength. Touch him, and you'll regret it. The confrontation escalated to fists, Ethan defending our bond. Bruised but victorious, he resigned as CEO that night, appointing a successor. "My life's here now," he told me on the beach, waves crashing. "With you." Relief washed over me, but guilt nagged. "You gave up everything." "No," he said, cupping my face. "I gained everything." Fall returned, anniversary of our marking. We revisited the festival hand in hand. The Ferris wheel loomed, memories flooding. "Ready?" he asked. At the top he knelt not to mark but to propose. A simple gold band, engraved with "Forever Guarded." "Marry me, Rowan." Not because of instinct, but choice. Tears streamed as I said yes. The crowd below cheered, unaware of our journey. But life tested us again. News broke. Marcus escaped custody, vowing revenge. Panic surged. Ethan ramped up security, his protectiveness fierce. "I won't let him near you." We hunkered down, the bond our anchor. Days turned tense, waiting for the storm. One rainy night, Marcus struck, kidnapping me from the cafe. Bound in a warehouse, fear choked me. "Ethan will come," I spat. He did, bursting in with police. A standoff ensued, guns drawn. Marcus ranted about betrayal, how Ethan stole his ideas years ago. "You marked him to spite me." "It's love, not spite," Ethan countered, eyes locked on mine. In the chaos, shots fired. Marcus fell, wounded but alive. Ethan rushed to me, untying ropes. "You're safe," he breathed, holding me as sobs racked us. The aftermath was healing. Marcus faced justice, his confessions clearing old wounds. Ethan testified, exposing corporate corruption, emerging a hero. Our wedding was intimate. Autumn leaves carpeting the aisle, friends and family gathered. Vows exchanged under the harvest moon. "I promise to guard your heart, as you guard mine." Honeymoon in Maine, lobster feasts and lighthouse views. Passion reignited, bodies and souls entwined. "You've changed me," Ethan whispered. "Made me human." Back home, we adopted a rescue dog, a scruffy mutt named Harvest. Life settled into rhythm. My cafe thriving, Ethan consulting part-time, volunteering at shelters. Our story inspired others, Omegas speaking out against force bonds, Alphas learning vulnerability. Conflicts faded, replaced by quiet joys. Evenings on the porch, watching sunsets. "Remember that night?" I'd ask. "How could I forget?" He'd reply, kissing my mark. "It was fate." Years passed, our bond enduring. At 30, I reflected on the journey, from festival impulse to lifelong commitment. Challenges shaped us. Betrayals taught trust, dangers forged resilience. Ethan's guardianship evolved, not possessive, but supportive. He championed Omega rights, funding advocacy groups, using his influence for good. One crisp fall day, we hosted a community event at the cafe, readings on LGBT stories, drawing crowds. A young Omega approached, eyes wide. "Your story gives me hope," he said. "That love can conquer." Ethan squeezed my hand. "It does if you fight for it. But life isn't fairy tales." Health scares hit, Ethan's shoulder injury flaring, requiring surgery. I nursed him, roles reversed. "Now I'm guarding you," I teased. His recovery strengthened us, reminding of fragility. We traveled San Francisco Pride, where we marched hand in hand, quiet retreats in the Rockies. A deeper fulfillment came with adoption. After hurdles, we welcomed Liam, a beta toddler with curly hair and infectious laugh. Fatherhood transformed Ethan, the alpha businessman trading suits for playdates, his protectiveness extending to our son. "Look at you, big bad alpha changing diapers," I'd laugh. "Wouldn't trade it," he'd grin, tickling Liam. Conflicts arose, balancing work, family. My cafe expanded, demanding time. Ethan stepped in, managing books. Arguments flared. "You're hovering again." "I'm helping," he'd retort. But makeups were sweet, reaffirming love. As Liam grew, we shared our story, age-appropriate versions. "Daddy marked Papa at a festival," Liam recited, wide-eyed. "And now we guard each other," Ethan added. Tragedy struck when Marcus, released on parole, resurfaced. Not with vengeance, but regret. A letter arrived. Apologies. Seeking forgiveness. Ethan wrestled demons. He nearly killed you. But he didn't, I said. Forgive for us, not him. They met. Tense, but cathartic. Marcus had changed in therapy. I was jealous, he admitted, of what you had. Closure came. Ethan released the past, embracing peace. Our 40th anniversary approached. Gray streaked Ethan's hair, lines etched from laughter and tears. We returned to the festival, Ferris wheel still standing. At the top he traced my mark. Still guarding you. And you, I whispered. Life's end loomed humanely. Ethan passed first, peacefully in sleep, after a full life. Grief consumed me, the bond severance like losing a limb, but memories sustained. His scent, laugh, unwavering protection. At his funeral, tributes poured, from boardrooms to our community. He was more than an alpha, I eulogized. He was my heart. Liam supported me, our family growing with his own partner. I ran the cafe until retiring, passing it on. In twilight years, I sat on our porch, watching autumn leaves fall. The mark faded, but the love remained. Our story, a testament to resilience, romance, humanity. It wasn't perfect, laced with pain and betrayal, but it was ours. Kismet at a festival, guarded fiercely, ending in quiet grace. A legacy of love, proving even alphas and omegas could find equality, depth, redemption. In America's vast tapestry, from Vermont's hills to NYC's spires, we wove our thread, strong and true.